receiver coming back? What are the things that Tez has to work on to do it again, or maybe even improve on that?
You know, where we're at now, you know, this organization, the one thing we always talk about is just growth, right? Where can we get better at? When it comes to Tez, move him around a little bit more, right? Not only playing inside, but playing outside. Getting a little comfortable out there. To his eyes, when it comes to reading coverages and seeing the coverage shell in his triangle. And so he's put a lot of work in doing that.
How much does the additions that you guys have made at corner and the depth you have there help with that in terms of developing outside receivers? It's one thing to say you want to do it, but when you have maybe one of the best corners in the league from last year and several other top guys to go against, that's a good training ground.
No, it's awesome. You know, like we like to say is iron sharpens iron, right? We got some good work. You know, Jabbar's playing good, Nico's playing good. You got some good young guys. You got Sione stepping in. You know, we're excited to go against those guys every day. And like, if you looked at today's practice, it was high energy and guys competed.
You obviously bring back Tez, but you lose Troy, and that's a big part of your receiving core. Kind of what's the process of trying to find the solutions there, and where are we at with that right now?
Well, yeah, you know, we lost Troy last year. Obviously, Troy had a good season. You know, you return everybody, but Troy, and then you add Evan to the room. So you still got veterans in there with Gary and Trayshawn. You know, Evans played a lot of snaps at A&M, and then then you got the young guys in there, and those guys are developing. You know what I mean, with the Kylers and the Jurions and the Justice Lowe, and then you got the young freshmen. So that room is still intact, and we're really excited about it.
What are some of the things you need to get from Trayshawn this year, and what do you want to see his improvements?
With Trayshawn,
yeah,
just route details, and he's worked on it a lot this offseason. Even over spring break, he's worked on it. He's playing good ball. He's catching a lot of balls with his hands now, and not body catching it, and he's coming out with a good attitude every day.
What did you see from somebody like Jeremiah? I've seen him work with kick return and stuff. What did you see from him this offseason?
Jeremiah's been great. When he's been twitchy. You can see that he can move. He can get deep fast. He can separate at the top of routes. He can separate, at the line of scrimmage. The cool thing about Jeremiah is he's positive every day. He comes in the same way every day. He's consistent. He comes with a smile. He's very smart. He's good in meetings. And all those young guys, not just Jeremiah. You got Ryan Pelham. You got Jack Ressler. You got Dylan Gresham. Those guys have all came in and actually been pretty good early on in camp for us.
Tez talked about Jurion's just better understanding of the playbook from today to where he was when he first arrived. Can you just maybe touch on that and just your thoughts of how far he's come?
No, he's come a long way with it. I mean, he still hasn't been here a year yet. Sometimes we forget about that. But I think it's how he's come this far, right? He's come this far because he's putting in the work. He's understanding the day-to-day, what time he comes into the building every day. When practice is over, he's getting straight to the film. He's taking good notes in meetings. And when he is on the field, they're all communicating and talking to each other and helping each other out.
There seems to be just so much talent in that room. How do guys separate themselves from each other and kind of rise to the top of that depth chart?
Yeah, there's a lot of talent, right? But it's all about what you're doing the day-to-day. Guys just making plays and competing against each other. But again, that room is, like I said, what happens in those four walls happens in that four walls. They're a tight-knit group. They cheer each other on. They root for each other. The cool thing about it is they help each other out, right? If you can see those guys in the meeting room and how they attack the meeting, and you can see them turn back. Tez, for example, will turn back and talk to one of the freshmen. It's like, hey, this is what the signal is. This is what the play is. They're all helping each other out. The way practice ended, Evan made a big play, and you can see everybody on, the whole receiving core and the whole offense and everyone over there, and just, helmet tapped them. So it was really cool to see the way we ended.
I look up Evan's numbers and certainly know about his speed. But what else enticed you guys about him? And do you see him as a Z, as an F? Where do you see him kind of role-wise?
First of all, Evan come here. Evan's super smart. Evan can picked up the playbook pretty fast. He's talented. But when it comes to what entices you about bringing people into our organization, is first thing we think about is what type of person is he, right? What's his character? And his character checks out. He's a good person. So when he did come in here, when he did get here, and he got into camp, I mean, it was a seamless transition.
Tez talks a lot about just how not a lot of guys in the room have caught from a lefty before. How has that transition been, kind of going from a righty to a lefty, and how have you kind of helped them along through that process this spring?
Well, the spin comes in a little different coming from a lefty. Those guys, as soon as we knew that we had a left-handed quarterback coming in here, we got a Monarch machine over there which shoots balls, and so we changed it to a left-handed spin so they can get used to seeing the spin. So that's helped out a lot. And they play a lot of catch and run routes with Dylan a lot. Our quarterbacks are playing really good right now. Dylan, Dante, Austin's playing really well. Brock, Luke. I mean, it's pretty cool to see.
Where have you seen someone like Kyler kind of develop and grow since he got here a couple years ago?
Yeah, no, I'm glad you asked about that because Kyler's he's made big strides this offseason. Where you see that he's grown is in two areas for me. One has been just the playbook, right, and understanding what we're doing and where we're going. And two, you can see the weight room is paying off, right? You can see his strength. He's running a little bit better. He's running a little bit stronger. He's a little bit more grounded on the catch, stronger at the point of contact in the run game. And he's took the next step as far as what he's doing in the classroom and what he's doing when we're not on the field and outside of this building.
We probably won't talk to you again. Your thoughts on just...
I'm sorry you won't. I'll miss you guys. I'll miss you guys. Seriously, I like you guys.
We won't talk to you before Troy gets drafted. What's it mean for him, but also for this program, for this position that you're at, where historically the school hasn't produced a lot of high draft picks at the receiver position?
Well, first of all, for Troy, it's huge, right? From where Troy comes from and to where he's at now says a lot about what he's done for the last 3 or 4 years of his life and his career. For this organization, obviously, for Troy to potentially and hopefully get drafted pretty high is going to mean a lot for this university, since that is, probably one of the first ones to probably go that high in a long time here. But Troy's done a good job up to this point, and see where the chips lay. He's got a bright future. The ceiling's high, and we're excited to see what happens.
Something you can use as a motivating factor for the rest of the guys in the room, just the success Troy's had, the trajectory he's gone on since coming.
Yeah, because a lot of those guys have been in the room with him, and they see now that the process works, right? They've seen someone in their own in the same seat that they sit in, that lived it on a day-to-day basis here in this organization, and now have the opportunity that he has. Obviously, that's going to be a really good example for those guys in the room.
What does a true freshman have to show you guys now to put themselves on track to do what, like Xavier Leonard did for you years ago, where it's not out of necessity for a true freshman to contribute meaningfully in a room that's got a lot of experience?
Obviously, it's a process, right? I mean, first things first is being able to understand the scheme and what we're trying to do. Where are you lined up at, right? What's the play call and where am I going, right? First, that's the hardest thing and the most important thing to do. And then from there, allow them to play fast. So when they get comfortable understanding what we're doing and where we're going, they're going to play a lot faster and be able to make plays.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I'll see you guys in the fall.